going to be talking about reading strategies today. Done so far as sort of the appetizer. We haven't really gotten at the meat yet. For those of you who are vegans, we haven't gotten at the vegetarian entree yet.
Thank you.
Okay? So, we're getting to it today. What I'm presenting now is the main course of this unit. It's the most important part, because what we've done so far is really talk more about discussion strategies. We're talking about sort of basic, not interrupting, how do we get quiet people to speak. We've been talking about that's very intro stuff to this Socratic seminar. It's very important, but now comes the real meat of this unit. Okay, so everybody has the sheet in front of them. The Socratic seminar, this is one of the most important documents of the unit, probably the most important document of the unit. And you're going to keep this in your journal and keep it up to date as we add reading strategies in class. I just want to say we've been doing strategies so far. We talked about markup strategies, and you got a sheet on how to mark up a text. Those are markup strategies. And then we've been talking a little bit about, in a group, what you can do to make discussion go better from time to time. We've talked a little bit about that. So those are discussion strategies. The last kind of strategies we're going to talk about are reading strategies. There is overlap among all these three, but our focus is really on what we're going to talk about today. All right? So in order to present the concept of reading strategy to you as clearly as I can, I want to remind you what I said at the beginning of the unit, and what this unit is about is making what is invisible visible in the reading process. Taking what a good reader does and making it so explicit that everyone else can say, oh, that's what they're doing. I could try that, and I could make better sense of this text. So it's about pulling out what people do unbeknownst to the rest of us, sometimes even unbeknownst to ourselves, pulling them out and making them usable for everybody, giving us all a toolkit to read difficult texts well. And the goal is that by the end of the year, I'm hoping difficult text and not be overwhelmed by it, because you are going to have strategies to use and that you've practiced that are going to help you come to comprehension of that text. Some of you, have you done this before in a class? Okay. What a Think-Aloud is again, making the invisible visible. We're going to, and you're going to try this yourself after I'm finished. It's when you read a text and you try to actually say what your brain is doing as you're reading. I can see everyone thinking hard about that. So I'm going to model it for you, what you're supposed to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be reading this text, and I'll pick, why don't I do the camel, okay? I'm going to do the camel, and I'm going to read this text, and I don't know this particular text very well, and I'm going to read it out loud. You're going to pretend that you're my partner. You're all my partner. And I'm going to read it out loud, and I am going to actually verbalize what is going through my brain as best I can. What you're going to do is everybody should have a pencil or pen in their hand, and you can take notes in the margin of this page. I want you to write down what you hear me doing. Now that might be, you might actually write down the words I say, or you might write down something like, she's connecting to her own life. All right, so you're going to try to think about the things I'm doing in order to make sense, and you're going to jot them down. Okay? So I'm modeling it for you first, and then you're going to try it with a partner. So here we go. Is everybody ready? Does everybody have a question about what you're supposed to do right now? All right, here we go. The Camel, James Tate. Okay, what I'm thinking right now is, the title's very simple. James Tate, I happen to know, is a poet. So even though this kind of looks like a paragraph, I'm guessing it's actually a poem. Okay, the Camel. I received the strangest thing in the mail. Okay, I'm picturing where I am in my house when I generally get mail. Today, oh, weird line break. I'm assuming that's a line break. I think that's an unusual line break. It kind of wakes me up a little bit. It's a picture of me riding a camel in the desert. Okay, I'm thinking that is very strange to actually get a picture of yourself in the mail. And yet, I have never ridden a camel or even been in the desert. I'm noticing all the line breaks are in unusual places, making me pay a little bit more attention to the format of this. I am wearing a jalaba and a keffiyeh. and I'm waving a rifle. Okay, I'm going to say right out, I do not know what those two things are. I'm guessing that they look like Arabic words or something to me, and you're wearing them, so I'm guessing they are clothing, and I have this picture in my mind. I once saw the movie Lawrence of Arabia, and I'm picturing, what he might be wearing in the desert. And I'm waving a rifle. Ooh, okay, what rifle? Riding a camel, and I don't usually put camels and rifles together, but they are together here. I've examined the photo with a magnifying glass, and it is definitely me. So I'm picturing this guy now getting out the magnifying glass, and almost like a scientist. Is this really me? Okay, this is kind of a weird thing to be doing, because how did this photo arrive if he was never in it? I can't stop looking at the photo. Okay, so now he's getting a little obsessed. I have never even dreamed of riding a camel in the desert. Okay, so this isn't wish fulfillment, because he says he hasn't dreamed of it. So I'm wondering, what is this about? The ferocity in my eyes suggests I am fighting some kind of holy war. And I'm wondering, okay, what kind of holy war? Is this some sort of symbolic, psychological holy war? That I have no fear of death. And I'm wondering, maybe he's saying that because he does fear death. I must hide this photo from my wife and children. I picture his tone changing here. Like all of a sudden making a decision, before just being curious, but now like, okay, I've got to act. I must hide this photo from my wife and children. They must not know who I really am. Okay, now in the poem he seems to have decided, not that this isn't him, but in fact that this is him. I must not know. Okay, that's the last twist of all. Because of course he already knows, because he just said he's hiding who he really is, but now he's saying he's got to even hide it from himself. I still have questions about this poem. I'll need to think it through more, but that's my first reading. Now we're going to be talking about what are the reading strategies, and this is going to go on your sheet. What are the reading strategies you saw me use in this Think-Aloud? And we're going to just do a few because I want to give you guys a chance to do it. Christian, what did you see?
You were telling us what you visualized.
Okay, visualizing. How many of you know for a fact you visualize when you read? Just talked to an English teacher yesterday who admitted he does not visualize when he reads, and everybody was like, what? How do you not visualize? And he swears he does not. Okay, what else did you see me doing, Anita?
You were asking questions.
Asking questions. What else did you see me doing, Maya?
Making predictions.
Making predictions. What else? Sarah, Mary, do you have one?
Making inferences.
Okay, inferences. What is an inference, Mary?
Something you can you almost guess from a fact that you have or an observation.
I like that. You're a guess from a fact. So it's like an educated guess, right? It's not just a wild guess. It's a little different from a prediction. It's like, oh, because this, I'm guessing this. Alex, what else? Yes. And specifically, which background knowledge did I use? Yes. Now that may not be knowledge that you had, right? But you saw that through my talking aloud that I had that particular knowledge. Jacob?
You started putting in your own words that you...
Okay. All right, let's get one more, and then I'm going to let you guys go. One more, Claudia.
Well, you kind of connected it to your life, like you were bad at yourself in your house.
Yes. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to read this, especially this chalk is terrible. All right, connect to your life. Yeah, something about mail just makes me think of my mail and getting my mail, right? So, all right, so the strategies, which you're writing on this sheet. You have your list in front of you. Did you write them down? These are just 7 of many to come. Visualize, ask questions, make predictions, make inferences, use background knowledge, put in your own words, connect to your life. Okay, we're going to be focusing on this for the whole...
That kind of makes me think about kind of
people have stereotypes and generalizations about people, and that makes me think makes you want to try to expand your mind. If the phone rings, think of it as carrying a message larger than anything you've ever heard, faster than 100 lines of beats. And I think that's like a horizon. There's so much that is there. You just kind of have to open your mind to it. Like, there's a lot in the world that people don't think about. You should try to think in new ways.
So, and might be analyze the sound. When you drive on the freeway, cars fall. Sound stiff, person driving is sort of really sad. Cars are falling next to they are on the path. Someone opens your mail, two hands that come out of your the line break was kind of weird there. It doesn't go that well, so it's weird that someone was opening your mail and you don't yourself. So is that someone yourself or is that your dog looks at you and he does not like you? Guys, I don't know what to do with that. After driving past the cop is tired. He has sat up all night, screaming. It seems as though I've seen this everywhere you go yourself with think that the cop is like after you, monitoring everything you do. If you go to the zoo, you should take
Make connections to previous knowledge.
Okay, connections to previous knowledge. It's a little bit different. Yeah, Eric.
Well, John, he saw similar themes inside the actual poem and connected them.
Very important reading strategy. One of the most important. Seeing patterns, being able to see what these things have in common, right, John?
Well, I was sort of going to say the same thing as Eric. Like, we were able to like make the pattern art, and we like analyze these. When you analyze like each phrase, they all sort of like came out as like examples of the same thing. So it's sort of like a motif for a pattern like you demonstrated. So like like analyzing and like demonstrating like the examples and stuff like that. Like really analyzing it well and stuff like that.
Is it different from seeing patterns?
No, yeah, sorry.